One of my viewers asked me if I can watch this video, and it's called Volunteers, Canadians Battling Australia Wildfires. So I know that in the last couple of years, Canada's actually had a lot of wildfires itself that have been not quite, but very destructive. And I know Australia has that similar problem and kind of always has, but to see the Canadians actually travel to Australia to also help them battle their wildfires, I think is a great thing. Of course, I've seen that Canadian spirit watching the documentary about Gander at 9/11 in Newfoundland, where they took in just so many civilian planes and fed and housed so many people, and really did such a great thing for humanity. So it's just this thing about the Canadian spirit, and yeah, I want to obviously learn more about it in this sort of specific situation. Tell me if you know about this, how Canada sends people to the Australian wildfires, and let's watch this and we can learn a little bit more.
It may not look like it, but this forest is still on fire, days after a towering inferno moved up this hill. The flames trapped inside these logs, the embers burning inside standing trees, and the extreme heat still rising from the ground. It could flare up and cause the next big one.
This is all about trying to shut down the possibility of another inferno passing through this region. It's already done that, and so many of these areas are very hot. By hosing them down now, when the weather heats up once again, the heat wave returns, they're not going to cause an ignition. That's the hope anyway.
I actually never really knew that's how it worked. Honestly, I feel like I'm a bit naive, but when you see the big flames and the fires and stuff, you can obviously see that. But to know that, like, it could be, these little flames and sparks could be inside any of these trees and logs, such a hard process to try and extinguish every one of them. Like, these guys, that's why these guys are really heroes. They need that attention to detail and need to, like, really be so precise, man. Yeah, it's a tough thing.
For most firefighters, this is the most catastrophic fire of their careers. Some fighting blazes that have been burning since September. And it's about to get worse. Another heat wave is coming Friday. This is dangerous work, and it's been deadly. So it's surprising to learn who these firefighters are.
All of them volunteer?
Every single one volunteers.
It's amazing.
It is. About 72,000 volunteers in New South Wales for our service. The largest voluntary fire service in the world.
On this crew, 3 teachers and an Uber driver.
You're a volunteer?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
What do you do the rest of the time?
I'm an arborist.
You're an arborist?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're used to dealing with trees.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm usually up there climbing around in them, actually.
The Fireys, as they're called in Australia, have something of a hero status. So too, it would seem, do the latest arrivals of Canadian fire specialists. Applauded arriving off a round-the-world flight, joining teams of experts across the fire zone. Some doing behind-the-scenes work, others on the front lines.
They're looking at the weather and the fuels and the topography and putting it all together and telling us where the fire is going to go tomorrow.
There is no time to ease into the job for the Canadians or anyone else. This is a crisis, and one that seems certain to last for months to come. David Coleman, CBC News, Uluru, Australia.
Dozens of firefighters took a break from the front lines today to honor a fallen colleague. Andrew O'Dwyer was one of 2 volunteer firefighters killed last month when a burnt tree fell and caused their truck to roll. The 36-year-old leaves behind his daughter, Charlotte. She was presented with her father's service medal, then put on his helmet and stayed near his coffin. O'Dwyer was described as a free spirit who loved his family and his fire brigade.
So yeah, tell me if you know about that, about the Canadians going to Australia to help with the wildfires. Again, like, I've seen that humanity at home in Canada, but to know they travel to pretty much as far away as possible from Canada just to help those people, I guess having that similar issue in Canada as well, like, man, when I see that last story, that's kind of broken my heart a little bit, that poor little girl. But yeah, great from the Canadians to travel so far and really help out in such a terrible thing that really affects so many people. As I said, it's happened in Canada the last couple of years, so I know that the Canadians will feel that pain as well. Tell me if you've been affected by it, and tell me what you think about this. Thanks.